Hey everyone, and welcome to Variant Rolls. As we return with As the Suns Burn after an unexpectedly long hiatus. Yes, I fixed it. I'm a pro. We are back with some invisible sun. The gray was screwing with our tech, but we got it sorted, and we're back and happy to be here. And yeah, I am your host and game master, Dan Gaston, MadSci DM on Twitter. I use he, him pronouns, and I am hyped to be back and let all these fine folks introduce themselves. And no particular order. Alex, how are you doing?
I'm already not muted. Hi, everybody. I'm doing well. I'm Alex. You can find me on Twitter at AxolotLCure. I use he, they pronouns, and I play Emma Elizabeth, who is, I've forgotten my character sentence because it's been a hot minute. A stoic goetic who cages adversaries, and I'm happy to be back and ready to be my most terrible self once again.
Well, I mean, you're in the red, so you're in at least one of your elements, right?
Yeah.
Destruction and demons and wanton nastiness. Excellent. All right. Kicking it around, I'm going to go in a weird direction and throw it over to Sam.
Whoa. Okay. Sorry, Shauna Germain just saw my tweet and she loved it.
Excellent.
So I'm really excited.
I am excited too.
I am Samantha Darcy, 65th Victor on Twitter. I use she, they pronouns, and I play everyone's boyfriend, Lucky, an ardent apostate who shepherds minds.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. And continuing, I am going to throw it over to Corey.
Hello, everyone. My name is Corey Hickson. My pronouns are he, they. Today I'm going to be playing Alice, who is an ardent maker who turns tales into reality and has a big sword.
Excellent. I love it. And I'm just fixing my filters on the fly because for some reason the new Streamlabs OBS, every time you open it, decides to reset all audio filters that you have applied to something, which is a real pain. So Streamlabs, if you're watching, fix that. It's annoying. All right, and last but not least, we have Annie.
Hello, everyone. I'm Annie. I use she, her pronouns. You can find me at Alphabet Seeds on Twitter. And tonight, as always, I will be playing Henrietta Delacour, an empathic weaver who disgorges creatures. And as always, I'm very much looking forward to disgorging a creature tonight.
All right. And because the question usually comes up, what's special about your lipstick today? As we should make sure Emma must now be in chat because thank you very much, Dice Priority, for the raid. As you folks have come in, I was wondering where some people were. So what's special about your lipstick today?
It's called Feelings.
That seems appropriate.
That's what's special about it. It's called Feelings. It's just some CoverGirl lipstick. I was at Target. I was just looking around like, oh, there's got to be some aptly named purple lipstick around here. Just like, oh, Feelings, perfect. Okay, done. In the cart. Onward. Feelings.
Excellent. I love it. All right. So we are back. So our four Vizsla who are embroiled in, let's call it, rebellion and shenanigans in Saturnine, as we journey back into the actuality, this world of surreal magic, are trying to pay off some obligations to some folks who, unbeknownst to them, have been running interference, and that has taken them to the Red Sun, which is a realm of change, violence, and destruction, and the home of one of the types of demons in the actuality, the demons of the Red. They are here ostensibly to find the sodality of Vryn, which is a cabal of Vizsla sorcerers, to get a book, because always it comes back to acquiring a book. And that will pay off their debt. They opted to take a bit of a shortcut to the Red instead of, just gain passage or traveling like normal folks do. and in the process of unlocking the door, triggered Grand Flux and inadvertently ripped a permanent hole between a part of Saturnine and a part of the red.
It's fine. Don't worry about
So,
it. Just
you
don't
know,
go over there.
There was a door. They went to open the door and basically just drove a Mack truck through it and just punched a hole, which is wide open, and they moved into the red. So we decided, we had a few discussions off stream during our break to see what everyone was doing and where they would be. And we're going to pick up in sort of an area of respite that is called the Red Whisper. So this is a way house, or essentially an inn, that they found fairly quickly into their sojourn into the Red. And it is a building balanced precariously on a spire of rock in the middle of a chasm. So imagine a red, dusty, Mars-like plain. In the distance, dominated all around, are mountains. Towering volcanoes, in fact, spewing lava and ash high into the sky, providing this filtered red haze on an already lurid red sun that beats down upon this realm of the actuality. This chasm, sort of like the Grand Canyon cutting through this dusty plain, has this pinnacle of rock rising out of the center that the building just balances on. It looks like it should almost be teetering. Like foundations are exposed. It really should not possibly be able to be balanced on such a narrow stand of rock. And wind is just whistling down the chasm and eating away at the rock. So you can literally see the chasm widening and changing as you watch it. But the Red Whisper Inn has all of these glowing red glyphs sealed on the building and all on its foundations and sort of on this lattice work that ties it to the top of this spire of rock. So if we flash back a little bit to your journey to this place, I'm most interested, we assume that you got here without incidents. This is the first bit of respite that you found. Any demons you encountered were minor demons that you were able to deal with pretty easily. But this building has no bridge that goes to it. It is just sitting in the middle of this chasm. So it is probably from like the edge, the lip of the chasm, it's probably at least 100 feet or so to the building. You can see a porch, like a wraparound, like a southern style porch that wraps around the whole building with some shelter. But there is no obvious path to get from the edge of the chasm to the building itself. Hi, Ella. So, how do you all get to the building?
All might be a bit of a strong word, but I would like to, if possible, summon something around like level 3 to specifically fly me across.
Absolutely. I think you can go ahead and do that. So you can spend the sorcery.
Yeah.
And what are you summoning, given that you are in the red?
I'm gonna try and go for something neutral, maybe summon something from the green. You know.
Okay, so like a conceptual spirit or something?
Yeah, something real inoffensive.
Okay. So what does it look like when you summon this being?
I would like to imagine that it's just a big plump bird, like a real big pigeon.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean the green is like home of life, and it can be kind of dangerous because it's like life ran rampant. And what the hell is scarier but a giant fat pigeon?
We did have a very long discussion about how scary Canadian geese are.
Oh, true.
It's true. It's true.
Now I regret that it's not a Canada goose.
Retcon it.
Yeah,
retcon that.
It's now a Canada goose.
It's a Canada goose. All right. So, and it's like, it's a human-sized Canada goose, which is terrifying.
Yeah, this is the scariest thing we've ever come up with.
Yeah. So it's summoned, and it has to have a little weirdness to it. It has human teeth.
That's always the go-to.
Yeah. So like when it opens its beak, there's like square, human type teeth, and of course, obviously, it hisses, right? Like it just
Oh yeah.
appears in front of you. What method of colloquy are you using to bargain with this creature of the green?
Oh,
Or
boy.
spirit of the green, I should say.
I'm not sure persuasion would be a very good idea because it's a goose, and we all know how well that works. I don't know. Maybe intimidation, like how
Okay.
like you can like stare down certain animals, like
Yep.
stare down dogs, and that works. Although that come to
I'm
think of
sorry. Wait, no, wait. I really want this to happen. I really want to see Emma Elizabeth stare down a goose.
no, I'm going for it. But I'm also observing that this
Yeah.
is a goose, and they have no fear. So
And,
Well, and
and
by like human size, like Emma Elizabeth is like very short, right? Like,
yeah, she's like 5'1" according to my.
so
and are we talking about
Emma
like human
Elizabeth's
male?
head. Emma Elizabeth's head, goose head.
Amazing,
Yes,
amazing.
love it.
All right.
Yeah, I would
So
like to.
you're staring into its eyes because it's a Canada
Yeah.
goose. Even though it's level 3, I'm gonna shift it 2 points in its favor in the intimidation because it's a goose.
Yeah, that's absolutely appropriate.
So it'll be a level 5 challenge.
Okay, sure. Would persuasion assist in here, or is that too specifically not intimidation?
Persuasion is specifically not intimidation.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Then I'll just spend for each round 3 points from my interaction pool.
Okay. Because you have expansive endeavor.
I do. Best thing I ever bought with my acumen.
It is a fantastic secret.
All right, so I'll roll my. First one is a 9, and second
Okay.
one is a 2.
All right. So in the second attempt, you fail. I gotta refresh my memory because I think this is actually the first time you failed a summoning.
Yeah, this is.
All right.
Wait, it's 2 plus 3, so 5 total.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was very. Of all the things I wanted to fail a summoning for,
Like, is
the
this goose
human-sized
just-
Canada goose is not the one.
All right. And do you have to make one more?
I think it's just 2 for
I
intimidation.
think it's just 2. Yeah.
Because persuasion is 3.
Okay. So you, what does it look like as Emma Elizabeth stares down and intimidates this spiritual goose?
So like, whenever I've seen people like try to get up into like the personal space of a goose, the goose usually tries to reciprocate and just advance. So I imagine they're just like both really invading each other's personal space, and just like mean mugging each other. Basically, that is entirely what I'm imagining happening right now. And
Okay.
the goose
All
is
right.
definitely craning over her for sure.
Yeah. All right. And then you intimidate the goose into submission, and is the goose gonna like carry you in its like feet, or are you gonna like ride the
I think I'm
goose?
gonna have to ride the goose because it doesn't have any. Goose have webbed feet, don't they? So I think I'm gonna have to
they
ride
do.
the goose across.
They do,
Yeah.
although they've got little claws too. So
Dan,
Yeah.
Dan, you have to say it. You have to make the goose say ride me.
Oh no!
we're not going there this early.
No, but it's like Aslan from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And it's just like really gruff.
Oh,
And of course, though, Emma Elizabeth would be the only person who understands it because it would be speaking in the tongue of the green. So it honks at you.
I was gonna say everyone else just hears an atrocious goose honk.
Honk. All right. We should also, because it's about that time, to start things off too, play a Sooth card to flavor our early interactions. And we have played the Untrustworthy Mirror. So Magic of the Gold is enhanced right now. Magic of the Silver is hindered. Our objects, animals, and heart is mysteries, rats, mirrors, and stone. So if those apply to you, then you have +1 to any venture. And its meanings are illusion, false identity, and failure. Can we trust the mirror? Because of course mirrors lie. And shadow thinking says that we should, because mirrors reflect the world accurately, but the actuality suggests otherwise. When no one can see your reflection, is it really yours? Something that appears real is not. Okay, interesting. So we'll take this going forward. And switch back. All right. So the goose ponderously wings you across, and then like alights on the porch, which, you know, creaks satisfyingly, right? You know how all good porches creak when you walk on them? Yeah. All right, so what about everybody else? Lucky and Alice and Henrietta, you're just standing there as Emma Elizabeth flies across on the back of a goose.
I think I want to believe that we're all laughing hysterically in character as this takes place.
As you should be.
Yeah, like that is absolutely just. Oh, this is the best way to come back, everyone.
Absolutely. All right, so what are the rest of you doing to get across?
I'm gonna. Are there any like rocks nearby or some sand?
There is absolutely, like, take your pick of rocks and sand.
Oh boy, I want that one. It's kind of shiny. I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna like casually throw it in at the chasm to see if maybe there is just a walkway that I can't see.
Yeah, you throw the rock and it.
All right, fair enough. But you know, I've seen movies.
And this gust of wind picks up as the rock is falling, and the rock is actually buffeted to the side, and you can see it's disintegrating as the rock falls down into the chasm, like gravel, which then tapers, you know, almost like a comet's tail stretching out behind it, until the rock is completely consumed.
I think we don't want to go down there. Not a bit.
Doesn't seem friendly.
So nice of Emma Elizabeth to abandon us here on this cliff. On our goose.
Is the goose coming back to get us?
No.
Nope. It's just sitting on the porch honking.
I mean, by this point, it's completed its task. It's free to go.
That's true. That's true. Thank you very much, Monty Cook Games, for the host. Much love, appreciated.
Woo!
Creating this fantastic game.
Well, I could like write 2 of us across, but I'm not quite there to get all 3 of us, so I don't want to. I don't know if we've got one more way to get across, then we can do that.
Well,
let me think. Not that I'm a thinking person.
Just gonna read all the abilities that I haven't looked at.
I know. That's what I'm doing too. I'm like, what can I do again?
The goose like sort of just discorporates. It like turns kind of translucent and wispy, and then just vanishes.
Mm.
Yeah, in
I don't-
hindsight, I sure wish I had picked some threads that would let me move really fast. Didn't do that, guys.
Well, so let's look at your threads. You have what? Winter, Moonlight, and Freedom. Is that right?
Sleep, winter, and moonlight.
Sleep,
And-
Winter, and Moonlight.
yeah. And sleep and winter both have absences related to motion and movement.
Motion. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
So moonlight would be totally cool, and I could use that to move, but I have to weave it with another thread, and
Yeah, that doesn't have it as an absence. That's correct. Yeah. So I mean, you can think on those. Alice, as you're standing near the chasm and the wind sort of
Not too
blows.
close.
What's that?
Not
Alice is too
to the
close.
chasm.
No, that's right. But as the wind blows through, you hear a faint Aria.
Anyone else hear that? Anyone?
And the
Hear-
wind sort of
hear what?
subsides.
It's just the wind.
Mm.
I don't know. I'm just gonna like turn. Alice is gonna turn her head and be like, "Can you speak up, please? I don't know if you're real."
So what are you just generally yelling at the wind?
But I'm doing it sort of to the side so that Lucky and Henrietta aren't like, "What's Alice doing?" But they probably are anyways, because
We
Yeah.
totally are doing that. Alice
Yeah.
is not subtle
they're-
No,
ever.
I think the quietest she can be is a stage whisper.
And I mean, do you try, like, when you talk to it? How do you, like, do you really focus on, like, listening,
Mm,
or is Alice kind of half doing that and half thinking about how to get across?
no, I think she's got her plan figured out how to get across. She's just sort of trying to figure out how we can all get across. But she sort of like pulls her hair over and like goes across her face for a second so that she can focus on it. And then she closes her eyes and is like thinking about where this voice is coming from and trying to listen a little bit better.
Okay. Why don't you give me let me pop into here. I'm gonna say that it'll be a perception based roll. If you have any skills related to, like, listening or noticing things,
No.
Okay.
Okay. I'll use
so
one.
you can spend Bene from perception.
Oop. Do I know if it's magical? Do I have hunches?
I think as a Vizsla, you just kind of assume, yeah.
Okay. Let's put a sortilege into it.
Okay, excellent. So you'll be rolling 2 dice.
Yep. That's one was a 5.
Okay.
A 5 and a 4.
A 5 and a 4, and that's before you added from your Bene.
Right. That's the
Yeah.
dice roll.
That's right. Okay. All right. So as you sort of focus, and I can just see her pulling the hair over her face to, like, really focus. I have to do the same thing. If I can barely hear something, I have to close my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You just hear and as a whisper, but I'll say it so it's pitched a little clearer. Aria Valora can teach you the sword.
Got it. I will like let my hair go poof and snap back into place, and I'll look over to Henry and say, "Henry, I just learned that there's someone here, Aria Valora. If we want to go learn the way of the blade to destroy our enemies."
I absolutely want to learn the way of the blade. Our enemies.
I'm sorry, what?
Alice, you can also add 1 to your secret knowledge.
Yes.
As, like, among that whisper, you heard snatches of other little bits and pieces of secrets.
Ooh, there's secrets in the air tonight. I don't know where that came from.
I don't know either, but it was great.
I'm gonna mute myself.
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, we're Alice and Henry's going to like really focus in like anime style. We're having an anime moment right now. Like Alice, this is the place. This is the place where we are going to become certified badasses.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
At GMF initials by our names.
Yes.
Mother, oops, don't know if we can forget what the rating for our stream is.
It is M.
Oh,
For
well, it will be in a second because I forgot to turn on the mature content warning.
Yes, we need to get certified.
certified.
I like
Yes.
it.
If we could find a notary in this town as well to make sure that it is documented appropriately. Mm-hmm.
I was smart. The mature or rather, I was not smart. We just forgot to turn it off the last time we turned it on.
Hey.
So yes, don't go wild, but the occasional F-bomb is okay.
Y'all can interpolate what GMF greatest something. Yeah.
We can edit it in post. It's fine.
Yeah. Fix it. So do
This
we
is a
have
live
any
production,
other
Annie.
thoughts on how to get across here? The way of the sword probably won't help us,
No.
being honest. If you really need to, I could take a rest in 10 minutes and get us across. If we're sort of, not sure what else.
You said it's what, like 100 feet or so? It's like a
Yeah, about 100 feet.
So can Emma hear us? Can we wait? Like Emma?
Oh yeah, you can yell across.
Yeah.
Although the wind, when you yell across, the wind picks up and snatches the words away.
Cool.
Wow.
This is some like really selfish wind, Just terrible.
Maybe we could convince the wind to take us across.
We could
Worth
try.
a shot.
So, Alex, what's Emma Elizabeth doing while basically
What
the
is
other
she
three
doing?
just like stand around?
She's just watching.
Okay.
They're not in danger, so she's having a grand old time just watching them.
All right. Excellent.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go to the edge of the cliff and say, Wind of the Red, please help us. We need to get across. I demand your assistance, and if you do, we will graciously reward you with a
secret. We'll give you a secret.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. I love this. Okay. Let's see. Alice, you're taking point because you're sort of doing this, but I'm going to give you help from Henrietta because Henrietta sort of added the secret. So are you going to do that by perhaps spending secret knowledge?
So I only have one secret knowledge, and if anyone else wants,
Henry's got a boatload.
Yeah, I have 12. I have 12 knowledge. That's what I
I
started
have 16.
with. Yeah.
I got plenty. I'll spend one for you as well.
Yeah, we are full of secret knowledge.
We are chock full of secrets.
Hair
All right.
filled with secrets.
So you probably have a good idea that perhaps you need to spend one per person.
That's fair.
All right. So what are these fragments of secrets?
I have to make something up.
Let's see. What kind of secrets would the wind want to hear?
Well, I mean, the secret you received was just about a person who could teach you the sword. So they could probably be anything. I think the wind doesn't care.
Mm. Um, I think I've got a good one. It just popped into my head. It's a dumb secret. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, Wind, listen. When I was in school and I got in trouble for tripping that kid, I said I didn't do it, and they believed me. I absolutely tripped him. No
All
one
right,
caught me, and he never fessed up.
So as you say it, the wind sort of picks up and sort of pulls it. So you almost like stumble over the words as it's like ripped out of you and swirls into the wind, and you can sort of feel yourself get a little lighter.
Ooh. I think it's working. Can I just, she'll kind of put a foot cautiously out into the chasm, I suppose. See if it holds.
And I mean, you're balancing on one foot. You're sort
Yeah.
of teetering, but it feels lighter.
Okay. I will walk across
Okay.
like a life
So it's-
angel.
Yeah, it's like walking on air. Walking on sunshine plays? No, because
Ayo.
but you make your way across.
Is the giant
Lucky
bird
and
still
Alice.
there?
No, it's vanished.
All right.
Gone back to the green.
Hello. She
What
says,
about Lucky and Alice?
I think there's a secret that that the way of the sword is actually a very wholesome thing. Most people are like, oh yeah, it's all about like fighting and that kind of stuff. But it's like, no, it's very much about wholeness and oneself.
All right. So as you spill forth this secret that you've picked up in your studies and reading about the way of the sword, similarly it's sort of pulled out of you and disappears into the wind, and you can feel and Lucky, you can actually see Alice's hair sort of like lift up, sort of like straining against the force of gravity keeping it down. Well, that would be Gray thinking. There's no gravity. Gravity's not real.
I've spent this whole time trying to think of a good secret. My brain is not made for this kind of thing.
Does Lucky have any secrets about gaslighting?
Probably.
like so many. Like,
But that's like too much like Henrietta's. What if the wind is bored by that?
I think any secret will do. You only need the snippet of something, of a piece of information.
About the Ash Gardens, maybe?
Well, I mean, don't people kind of know anyway? But all right, that's fine. All right, wind. My friend and I, with the aid of an accomplice, a one-armed accomplice now, pulled off the destruction of the Ash Gardens in Satyrine.
Okay. And similarly, it's pulled out. This is new information to the wind. Secret doesn't mean only one person knows it. Just
gonna come back to bite me, isn't it?
Information. And it spirals out, and Lucky, you can find yourself feeling a little bit more buoyant and light.
Sorry, Alex made me laugh.
While we're floating across, can Alice briefly chat with Lucky?
Yeah, absolutely.
So as we're going across, Alice is going to pull out this fork out of her satchel.
A cork?
Fork,
A fork.
like cutlery.
Okay.
I don't know if that's any less strange.
I mean, it's not.
And she'll say, I've got this fork here, and you can see I've added this spring to it. Now it's only a one-time use, but it's very strong. All you have to do is you can like stick the fork into something, release it, and I've wound up the spring a whole bunch. So here you go. I wanted to make a gift for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Alice, what does it do?
You can just like stick it into something, and when you like trigger it, the spring will sort of like whoop, and it'll, you could like stick it into a boulder and the boulder goes flying, or like I don't know, a car maybe. The options are
Can't remember the last time I saw a car, but thanks. That's really cool. That's really touching.
Yeah, it just keep in mind things I make break, so make it count.
All right.
So is it literally one use, or
Yeah,
is Alice just saying it's one use because she assumes
she's
it'll
just
break?
leaning into it now? Like,
I only make ephemera now.
Pretty much.
Okay. And mechanically, it's what is it? 3,000 pounds of force?
Yes, it has 3,000 pounds of force in the spring.
I think you mean 3,000 pounds of forks.
Yes, it's 3,000 pounds of forks. And it's a level 6 effect. So if you use it to like attack somebody, for instance, it'll do 6 points of damage. And throw them. All right, it'll yeet them right the hell out of there.
It should be called the Yeaton fork.
The yeet fork. Or fork of eating. All right. Okay.
Well, now we know you have to say yeet when you use it. Like, whenever you do use it, even if it's 3 sessions from now, you gotta say yeet.
You better add that.
I have literally never said that word aloud in my life.
Well, I hope you do for the sake of the stream.
To be perfectly honest, I only just figured out what yeet meant, like how to use it in the context of a sentence. I had no idea. I kept trying to use it, and my boyfriend would be like, "No,
No.
close, no."
All right. So you're now all on the porch of the Red Whisper.
Shall we head on in?
Thanks, Emma. Thanks for your help getting us across.
Oh, you're very welcome.
All right. So you just stand on the porch.
No, I'm going.
All right. So there is indeed a door. And although when you go to open it, you can see a door handle. And as you reach for it, the door from the middle like sags open into a giant mouth. But you can see through it into like the interior of the building. So just instead of the door like opening like a door, it opens like a mouth. And as it does, you can see the outside of the building sort of warp and ripple a little bit. And you can see the sort of wooden siding take on sort of a fleshy texture momentarily.
Is the building itself a demon?
No.
Okay.
It is not.
Is it any sort of entity I would be able to identify as someone who summons things?
As like a spiritual entity?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. But it does take on sort of a creaturey type appearance. But when you like look through this now open mouth that is just waiting for you to enter, essentially, like you can see people moving around inside the building, and you can see light coming in through where windows should be, and all that sort of thing.
Not going.
All right, because of course we had played the untrustworthy mirror, so the building is not exactly as it appeared, and we changed locations to the interior. We will play another card. As we have played the assassin. So the assassin is the adept. So to remind everybody what that means, we will immediately play another card in terms of effects. But we should still look at the assassin. Mysteries, rats, mirrors, and stone. Finesse, stealth, betrayal, and subtlety. All right. We should look at that. And we also have to play another card. And we have played... Okay, we've played the Ambassador, which is also an adept. But in terms of narrative effects, the Ambassador hails from a far-off land, carrying a message of unity and civility. Okay. 2 adepts in a row. We're running through the Path of Suns. And we've played the Companion. The Companion duplicates a previous card in terms of its effect, meaning it duplicates an adept, which means another card.
Oh my
But
god.
all these narrative effects are stacking up, which is why I'm looking at them.
Jeez.
Keeping a low profile, so survival resistance. Magic is surging right now in the red, as we've played the Doctor, who is the Nemesis. All right, so for everyone, your ventures right now are at -1. If you are Visions, Swans, Blades, Water, you are at -2.
Womp womp.
All right. Doctor's help, but it's help we'd rather not need. All right, so we'll keep all of these in mind as we go through. All right, that was certainly a chain of events. I think all of you as Vizsla, so as this door opens, you can all feel these currents of magic that flow from the invisible sun through the Path of Suns surge and build and swirl around you. All of the hairs stand up on like the back of your necks.
Well, that's unexpected.
And the interior of the room is crowded. So, what do you all do?
Did we come here because we found out that it was like a place to rest, or
Yeah, I mean, this
Is
is
this just
literally
the
the
first place
this is
that we
the first
saw?
place that you have found. Yeah.
okay?
Hmm.
Can we tell what it is by looking around?
Oh, well, I mean, it
I mean-
was like sort of obvious that it's a building. It's pretty obvious that it's like a way station. There's
Okay.
tables and stuff set up on the inside. People are eating food. Yeah.
I guess this is as good of a place as any to make camp. At least while we get our bearings and figure out where we need to go.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a desk or something?
Well, so as you're all standing on the porch, just like looking in this open mouth door,
Mhm.
a voice growls from the inside and just says, "Well, are you coming in or keeping the damn thing open for the wind? In or out, go or stay?"
I think this guy has cats. We'll come in.
And so you pop in, and there's like a desk on one side, and there is a sort of largish. It's not a human. It looks vaguely like an anthropomorphic toad, but with a deep red skin, and it has 6 arms that are up above the desk doing various things. 2 different hands are currently writing in 2 different books. The creature has 6 eyes arranged on its head in sort of 2 clusters of like 3 and 3. And you can see some of those eyes are peering in different independent directions, like a chameleon, as it's writing in these 2 books. 2 other arms are currently like cleaning like a stack of glasses. And then the other ones are like gesturing you to come in and close the damn door, with this like, large toad-like visage. And of course, there's other people in the room as well. There is a mixture. There's people that are obviously human. There are people that you assume are Vizsla that have gone through things at the Changeries. There are demons in several different forms walking through here. There is an angel in one corner, seated at a table, and there's just there's a lacuna seated at another place. So they're currently showing a hole to somewhere else in the red, and there's just a variety of other beings of various kinds here. Welcome to the Red Whisper. You look confused.
Oh, sorry, that's just our resting faces.
Looking for a place to stay, get your bearings. New to the Red, are you?
Got it all in one. I suppose it's really obvious.
Yeah, you still got a little bit of green on you. Well, or should I say, indigo.
Yes, accurate. Haven't mentioned the green though. I think that's in my future. Can we just sit anywhere?
Absolutely. Name's Vandergast. Said this is the Red Whisper.
Thanks, Vandergast. Nice to meet you.
One place of near permanence in a land of change.
But the clientele always changes, so it's always a little different.
True, you gotta embrace the locals somehow.
I see you're really good at doing that. Gestures at all of his arms.
Well, people have always said that I'm a pretty good hugger.
I believe it.
Occasionally the broken spine, too.
Believe that as well. Well, thank you. Thank you for your hospitality. We'll go sit down.
Here. And sort of gestures, and a couple of shot glasses sort of materialize in the air and sort of dance in a line and plop down on the table in front of you. There's just this deep red liquid, which you all recognize as distilled hatred. Bit of a local tradition.
All right. Cheers.
Salut.
This is Emma's regular drink.
And of course, it burns down your esophagus. You can literally feel sort of bits of your esophagus sloughing off as it burns down into your belly, and then this surge of fiery emotion. It was at least momentarily, you absolutely hate everything you see around you. Then it fades away.
Or always.
Oh.
Well,
You know, people are taking a few glances at you, going back to their own business.
I don't like the way these people are looking at us.
Oh, honey, I think that's just the hatred shot speaking.
Now I hate them all.
Well, Alice, I think you should probably get used to that. I don't think it'll change anytime soon until we get out of the red.
We're too hot to be looked at with contempt.
Maybe it's envy.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I get that a lot. All right, we'll go sit.
All right.
What are we gonna
do?
What are we gonna do about the giant void that we ended up tearing into the indigo?
I mean, is there really anything that we could do? I think that's a long-term problem. Let's compartmentalize
Problem for future Henrietta.
the problem for future.
That's a future me problem.
Our current problem, or I guess goal, are they really problems if they're not? Anyway, it's, semantics is that we have to find what are they called? The slaloms of Valyria.
The sodality of Vryn.
I thought you were serious at first, Annie, and I was like, Valyria? What? Sorry.
It's okay. I've decided to just sort of evolve Henry's inability to say Bisley and her inability to say a lot of
Inability to remember anything correctly.
really important Bisley phrases. Because that's fun. That's just good comedy. So yeah, we have to find another group of Bisley. Sorry, I said it. Oh my god, I said it right. Ugh.
Must be the influence of the red.
Fix it in post. Vuvuzelas.
The Bazulu. We have to find this other group of Bazulu. And
finding specific people in a sun that we are totally unfamiliar with is a pretty fucking monumental task.
Well,
It's also an organization, so it's not like you're looking for one person.
So this is... Oh, go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, is this a group? So this is a group of sorcerers. Is that common within the red? Is that,
I mean, by far the biggest population group here would be demons of the red, and various creatures. But there are mortal beings from various suns, Bisley, not Bisley, soldiers, warriors, traders. There's all kinds of people who come through here or live here. But it is a harsh and dangerous place. So it's not like setting up a vacation home monastery somewhere. It's yeah.
Yep. So I'm gonna pitch to the group, and Alice is gonna say, maybe we don't need to go find them and they could come find us. I'm sure if we put out enough of a reputation, they might have an interest. It's worked before with other groups.
Alice, you do not need more of a reputation under another sun.
I don't know. That's a good power move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We just have to
Classic.
position it the right way. Not hurting people and being terrible criminals this time.
Although this would probably be the sun to do that.
Yeah. Well, from what I've heard is that we should sort of try to cultivate a reputation of people who should not be trifled with.
Hmm.
To avoid trifling.
Absolutely. We can accomplish this through threats, intimidation,
Gaslighting.
Learning the way of the sword.
learning the way of
Destroy our enemies.
Yes.
sword to destroy your enemies. All right. You two obviously have something going on that I am totally not aware of.
Tell me what you know of the riddle of steel.
Well, you were busy gaslighting. I was away of listening. And Double E, this is kind of your crowd. You could like get buddy with some of the local
local
dudes
color?
here. Right?
My crowd, that's a generous way of I use these people. I don't associate with them.
Well, maybe you can use them by associating with them.
Well, either way, I would much rather not spend any more time here than we have to. And cultivating a reputation seems like a slow road. So
Depends upon how big you go, how fast.
Sick.
So was that a really
I did not
awkward
take it
way
there.
of
You
saying go
took it
big or go
there.
home?
Oh, could I not take it there?
You took it there. I did not even think that. My mind is not in that place.
is this in character?
No.
Nox is agreeing with.
Anyway,
Truly,
what I'm
we're the
saying
critical role
is
of
the
Invisible Sun.
more trouble we cause, the faster, the sooner we can get out.
Let's cause some trouble right now.
I
Or
don't.
maybe we could do something more direct.
More direct trouble.
No. Yep. Lucky, do you know very much of anything about the Red?
Not a fucking clue.
I hear you can grow potatoes here.
Oh, that's news to me, Alice. Anyway, Lucky, I don't think you're capable of causing enough trouble under this sun to get noticed, considering the other beings that live here.
This sounds like a challenge. Huh, Alice?
Much as I would like to say it is,
I agree.
so that you get yourself killed here, would be counterproductive. So-
Just become a ghost and go to the Pale. I have friends there.
Well, it would keep you away from me.
All right. So Vandergast sort of shuffles over and puts, like 2 arms on hips while the 2 arms above sort of cross and the other one gestures while they talk.
That's so much disapproval in one person.
It is. So, you look like you maybe need some help around here.
Well, help may be a strong word. Advice and guidance.
Well, one of my hats that I wear, and he sort of one arm unfolds and like tucks somewhere, and he pulls out one of those like card dealers kind of hats, like like the brimmed visor thing, and puts it on. Is a bartender's hat. Supposedly, I heard there's a trope somewhere where the bartender listens to people and gives them advice. So I thought maybe I'd try it out for a while.
I think you're more than that.
Oh, well, I wear many hats. Pulls out an assortment of various hats and disappears.
We're looking for a group of sorcerers, and they are some that we need to get in touch with from the Tower of the Dead for the Dead Gods. Is where we think they hang out, I think.
Do you? Oh, so you just say you don't say the sodality. You just say a bunch of sorcerers who hang out at towers for dead gods.
Yeah, that sounds like Alice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just thinking if he would put two and two together, and yeah, I think he would. I think they would. And so he, like, four of their hands kind of come up and make symbols, like arcane wording symbols. So like literal signs against things, right? Like the sign of the evil eye, like that kind of thing. These are minor magical practices that literally ward you against various things. And he goes, so you're looking for the sodality of Vryn, are you?
Yes. Can you direct us?
I can. They're a strange bunch. Dangerous. Make themselves masters of all sorts of violent, aggressive magics in their ultimate quest. Some say that the sodality seeks utter dissolution, not death, not destruction, but to erase themselves from existence. Their pursuit of this has taken them down many a dark path. Their towers, as you say, form strange and arcane geometries that are dedicated to dead and dark gods.
They sound like terrible people, but we need to speak to them. And I just want to say that this is coming from a personal point. And I know you're not one of the sodality of the ring yourself, but I really just think they need to try creating more things and giving that a shot. It's,
You know that you're in the red right now. This is literally the realm of change and destruction.
Don't like that. Sorry.
Well, if you want rebirth, you should go to the gold.
I do want that. Sorry, could you just tell me a little bit more about that while we're on the topic?
The gold?
Yeah, the rebirth part specifically.
Oh, it's a place of... it's the end of the path, after all.
I'm just going to pull out the legacy artifact really quick and be like, is this... Sorry, I just have a lot of questions. Does this at all look familiar to you? Or do you know anything about this?
I think so. It's going to be obvious to pretty much anybody that it's a legacy artifact, because legacy artifacts are like have inherent innate beauty. They can be overwhelming to look upon. So I think he like sort of gasps and clutches at himself a little bit and says, well, that appears to be a mighty artifact of the legacy that you're carrying around quite casually.
Yeah. If you want to let any of the sodality of Vryn know that we have this, they might be interested in getting in touch with us.
that might be the case. If you really do want the word spread, well, probably came to the right place. Secrets and whispers come and go from here all over the red.
I'm gonna lean in to the bartender a little bit closer and say, I would be glad to share the stories that we've gotten up to.
Well, I am sure that we can ensure that things are disseminated through the influence network that this place stands at the center of.
I think I would like that very much.
Some
You've
people
been-
have called me an influencer.
Do you have a Vislogram? Or do you partake in... I know it's not great for mental health and all that, but I'm just,
I do occasionally use the noosphere.
I'll look you up. I'll go
Hashtag
back.
Red Whisper.
I'll go back to the group.
Oh, he was like hanging over your table.
Oops, yes, he does.
And as for where the sodality can be found, their towers are on the shores of Lake Porsatia. And he'd give you some directions, basically. Depending on how you were going to get there. If you were going to walk on foot, it'd probably take at least several days, and of course be very dangerous.
Quick question.
Bands of roaming nomads, demons, all kinds of things haunt the wastelands. Yes, Emma Elizabeth, quick question.
I guess this is two questions. One, do Lacuna control what their portal
Yes.
do? Okay. Second of all, is it like markedly impolite to ask a Lacuna to like get
Like a strange Lacuna that you don't know? Yes, that would probably be considered rude. Yeah.
Okay. Like the one in here, yeah. So.
Yeah. Like some Lacuna might be just like super chill and friendly and willing to help a person out. Others obviously would require a service. You definitely know that, yeah, people do it, right? Transit via Lacuna. But yeah, to just go up to a Lacuna that you don't know and be like, "Hey,"
Yeah.
is problematic for sure.
Well, do we want to go to Lake Porsatia?
Well, if it'll take a long while, perhaps we should rest first. Do you have rooms, Vandergast?
I do indeed. And then he looks up and says, "Hey now, no trouble." And Alice, behind you, you hear a flutter. And there's like a shadow cast over you. Whoever is across from you sees, they hadn't noticed them cross the intervening space, but suddenly looming behind you is the angel that was in the corner. I'd say they're tall. They are sort of normalish humanoid configuration. They have sort of more almost like a robe. Those, like when you see those like badass warrior wizard ensembles that look half armor, half robe. It's like that sort of configuration. And their wings are not feathered; they're just like abstracted, multi-angled, sort of fractaled light that sort of come out in this manifold. That you can't actually tell how large they are. They get so diffuse at the edge that maybe there's some probability distribution, and their wings stretch all the way across the red. It would be hard to tell, but they're at least more concentrated where they are, and the light is shifting and prismatic as the colors kind of shine down on you. And when they speak, their voice is very, it sounds like tinkling bells as they speak to you. And Emma Elizabeth's the only one who can understand, because of course there's actually different languages for all the different sons, but Emma Elizabeth can speak angelic. And the angel is in the process of asking Alice, where did you come by that?
Alice, our new friend here, wants to know where you found your artifact there that you seem very content to just pull out in the middle of very crowded locations.
This old thing? This thing that this dagger, this legacy dagger, is this what they're?
Yes.
and
That is it.
the angel sort of speaks again, that, you know, basically the spiel of an angel, sort of, that it is their charge to safeguard the legacy, and they are concerned if such a potent artifact, thought lost, was in the hands where it might come to harm. And they say, then sort of repeat the original question on where it was obtained, but they say sort of, how did you come by the Sin Eater?
Well, Alice, they want to know again where you found it and how you found it, and I think they're implying that you shouldn't have it.
Well, we'll figure out that last part. And Alice is gonna step onto the table and say, we came from the Satyrine. Some of you may have heard of it. And she's going to recall the entire tale of how we got to the dagger and where it came from. And at the end of the story, she is going to hoist it above and say, and that is how we came into the possession of this legacy dagger. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to be here for a little bit.
Okay. Are you weaving any magic into this as someone who tells tales?
Heck yeah. I'm going to use my Weaving the Tale ability.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and spend the sorcery and remind us what that does.
Yeah. So for 6 sorcery, I weave a tale, and so this will probably require me to add a bit more embellishment to the story about the current situation. And I change the circumstances around us so that our story goes more in the direction that we wish. The next action that I do, and the next action of all my allies within long range, is enhanced by 1 die. And at the same time, 4 minor events occur that are favorable to us: ropes breaking, NPCs slipping, doors closing, so on and so forth.
Okay. And so I think your objective, correct me if I'm wrong, is to a little bit like to inform, but to also sort of convince this angel that you indeed should bear this legacy artifact.
Oh yeah, we totally came into this of valid possession, and it's ours now. And if someone took it, that would be theft.
All right. So let's go ahead and see what the angel thinks about that. So the angel is going to be a level 5 challenge.
Okay.
And you're just trying to convince them, so it's like a persuasion sort of thing.
Do I get, so my spell was level 6? Does that add on?
Yes.
To it?
That's a good question. I'm not 100% sure in this case. No, because what it's doing is adding the die to your next action.
Okay. So can I use interaction?
Yes, you can absolutely spend from interaction.
Okay, I'll use another sortilege.
All right, so you'll be rolling 3 dice.
Yes.
and your challenge is at 4 because your venture was 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
I rolled a 9, an 8, and a 1.
A 9, an 8, and a 1. Okay. So you spin this story, which becomes very embellished and grandiose. And the angel seems soothed, and speaks back to you and shifts into Indigo, which is presumably the language that you were speaking previously. And again, sort of a very melodic voice, but less so because it's now not speaking angelic, but Saturnine. Indigo, rather. And just says, well, you seem like perhaps someone who will reawaken the Sin Eater. It has slumbered long, we thought it lost.
Do you have any way that I could follow up? We're still learning a little bit about how to work with this dagger. Mind you, we've been successful before in using it. Don't doubt us. But is there anything else that you could help us out with at all?
All I can tell you is that the Sin Eater shall only reawaken to its full potential when it remembers its true self. Seems to have forgotten something.
Thank you so much. Sorry, my name is Alice Kingsley, GMF. Yourself?
You may call me Zara.
Fantastic. And these are my friends here. If y'all want to introduce yourselves.
Henry, pleasure.
I'm not introducing myself. I'm just going to look at it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm not either.
Well, depending on your purposes here in the Red, I wish you well, and that will serve you well. And it's probably because you remember the last time you actually used it against the agents of the Vespertine, and when it sort of started behaving strangely and giving off this vibrational energy, and when you wielded it, transformed you into the visage of a warrior angel. It's not doing it quite as intently, but the whole time you've been in the Red, the Sin Eater dagger has been like subtly vibrating, just sort of being in the presence of the Red.
Okay, sweet. So now that we have a place to stay, what's next? Do we want to make a trip out?
I don't know. What was the name that you heard the wind say?
Arya Valora.
Arya Valora. Maybe we should find them, right?
Arya Valora, you say? Vandergast sort of pokes back in. I mean, he was standing there the whole time, but... she roams around, but she does come through here periodically. Usually once every couple of weeks she comes through on her travels. She runs the caravan route.
The caravan route?
There's farms for things that can only be grown in the Red. Merchants pay top dollar in other suns for them. Also things like distilled hatred also come from here. They've got to travel some way, and it's rather dangerous. Arya is one of the many warriors who ply their trade as mercenaries and guards moving through the Red.
Good to know.
A woman not to be trifled with, they say.
be interested in trifling with her. You know, amicably, an amicable trifle.
A friendly trifle.
Oh, just a friendly little jaunt. Well, thank you for the information. You have been a most gracious host.
Yes, well, you were saying something about rooms. How long will you be wanting them for, and how many?
Well, I guess, I don't know. I imagine, do we want all of our separate rooms? Do we want to bunk up? You nodded, but that was an or question.
I would like to bunk up. Also, I am very broke and it's tough for me to pay for things.
Maybe.
I'm not rooming with Emma.
I'm not rooming with any of you.
Good. Thank
I-
God.
Wave over to Vandergast. I'll get a room
Yeah.
and I'll pay for hers as well, pointing to Alice.
All right. Let
Thank
me
you.
flip through here. Should be in here. Find exactly where it is. All right.
All right. Then Henrietta and I will share.
Lodging. All right. Let's see. This is not a luxurious establishment. I'd say this is a 2-star kind of place. Private room and bath, moderate security, 7 crystal orbs a night.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
I just want to say, like, mechanics wise, Alice is actually very broke, and the sound of 7 crystal orbs per night that's like, nope.
So I'll be paying 14 a night for myself and Alice.
That's right.
Okay, sure.
As far as how long we're staying, I don't think we're quite sure.
Well, we can pay by the day then. No problem.
All right, yeah. Thank you. So then Lucky and I will split the cost of the one room.
All right. Which has
Somehow.
one bed. Which has one bed.
Yeah,
And
of course it
Right.
does.
And
That old trope.
it's not very wide. Well, it's a single room. If you want a double room, the problem is a double room is like 12 crystal
Yeah, fuck that. No.
a night. So you're
No.
only saving 1 crystal apiece.
Yeah,
Yeah. No.
we trying to be thrifty here.
Yeah.
That's right. So you share
Alright.
the single bed. And,
It's fine.
It's
It's
fine.
fine. What it is. I mean, you're all the ones trying to be cheap here. All right. So if we assume that we sort of fast forward a bit, Alice, you had something else that happens, right?
Yeah, Alice tried
So
to
we
make
assume that
something.
you're trying to finish this in the evening, basically. All right. So why don't you tell everyone what is Alice working on in her room?
So Alice had this agreement with Emma to help her build some things that would help out with some other stuff going on. And presumably, Alice will be working on it with Emma because it's sort of like I think it was an amulet or something. And the effect of it is that it was supposed to help with a ritual. And Alice got to the very end of it, the very last step, and rolled
Mhm.
one lower than she needed to, and had a mishap.
Oh boy.
Okay. Which is great. Let's see. There are so many interesting things that could happen here.
Alice doesn't charge for mishaps, so
Emma has plenty of money. She's gonna pay you regardless.
Oh, okay.
She's not that evil, Jesus.
All right. So things go awry. And Alice, as you're completing this and you're in the red, and this is an unusual place, I need you to make a resist action for me, please.
Okay. So I've got 1 in resist. Is there a pool I
Yep.
can spend from?
There is, and let me recheck here. Intellect.
Okay. So 1 Bene, 1 skill for adventure of 2.
Okay.
And I rolled a 7.
Okay. And just because you would know this is a magical effect, so you would need multiple successes.
Okay. Yeah, I will use sortilege.
Yep.
The other one was a 6.
Okay. So I think that is actually fine. So as you were like sort of finishing this, and you could see the magic go haywire, the amulet turned pure black. And like Vanta black, like blacker than black. You could feel your attention drawn to it as if being pulled and falling into this abyss yawning open in front of you. And these black smoky tendrils sort of rise out of the amulet, and you sort of inadvertently inhale them, and you can feel them squirming and worming and trying to latch onto your soul, but you manage to sort of summon enough magical energy to like purge it out of you. But the amulet is dead at the end. And it is just this like lump of a pitch black amulet. As you could feel that you had inadvertently briefly opened a portal into the dark, and an entity had tried to possess you.
Well, I'll take this lump of coal and I don't want to litter. I should probably dispose of this properly. Alice will hold on onto it until she can figure out how to get rid of it.
Okay. Yeah, it's inert at the moment. It doesn't do anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just try again next time, I suppose.
How much? How much were the materials for this?
It was 150 crystal orbs to try and make.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So in the evening, what's everyone else do? Is Emma Elizabeth doing any special in her room by herself?
Studying, reading, trying to piece together more about what she's looking for, but beyond that, nothing in particular.
Okay. There is always this constant, like, as the wind whistles by, and sort of gets filtered in through the creaking and groaning of the building. It's almost like just at the edge of your perception, you can hear little whispers. They're almost begging you to listen to them intently.
Can I do that then?
You absolutely can. And this is like everybody's and it's a constant thing, like the whole time that you're there. So why don't you go ahead and this is a perception is where you could spend Bene from.
All right.
If you have any skills related to listening or being aware of things, and it is a magical effect, so you'll need multiple successes.
Sure. I will spend 1 sortilege and 2 from my perception pool.
Okay.
That's my other D10. There it is. All right, so the first die was 9, and the second was a 3. So 11 and 5.
Yeah, so through the course of the evening, as you're attempting to listen to these things, you catch snatches of things, but it's always like gibberish that you can't put together into anything useful.
Mm.
But you can increase your secret knowledge by 1.
Did I witness like exactly what was going on the other side of the thing where they used secret knowledge to barter with the wind? Or did I
I
not
think,
keep-
yeah, you saw them like speaking, but you never heard it. Like you could
Okay.
never hear them on the other side.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
All right. And what about Lucky and Henrietta, as you are in your room?
I mean, I would guess that we are probably doing exactly what we used to do in the gray, which is hang out and get really drunk and talk about life.
Mm-hmm.
It's too bad you don't have your guitar anymore.
I know. I mean, I wish I knew how to play, but every time I touch the damn thing, the strings break. So,
Pick up a different instrument.
you know, I've thought about it.
I know you.
Fine.
Who has the time, man?
What about you? Can you drum anymore?
No.
Yeah, so we're musicians with no musical talent.
I lost all sense of rhythm upon return to the actuality.
Yeah. I mean, now that I think about it, though, I don't think we were very good in the gray either.
We weren't, but the trick was the audience was so drunk and or high that it didn't matter.
It's true. We played in some really shitty places.
So maybe we just need to find really shitty places to play again.
Hey, maybe we could find a place here.
Some demons.
Yeah, we'll play to some demons. That sounds exactly like our old
It's
clientele.
gonna go just fine. Just like everything else in our lives is great and fine.
Oh, yeah. I would definitely classify us being in a strange hotel room in the middle of Mars.
Mars.
Well, think a little bit more, especially what you see in the distance, right? Because instead of a mountain range, it is a mountain range, but every single peak is a volcano, like spewing ash and lava into the air. It's a cross, at least in this area of the red, between Mars and like traditional conceptions of hell.
Mars hell. Martian hell.
Martian
Yeah.
hell.
Yeah. Minus the whole like, people being tortured and stuff. There's no like souls being tortured by demons and whatever.
That we know of.
Yeah, it's not really a thing. Like, if demons take your soul, they use it to gain a soul for themselves temporarily, so they can do things like actually experience qualia. And work magic and consume your soul in the process, and otherwise people just go to the Pale.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. I mean, some people make pacts where your soul gets consumed by the dark or something, but yeah, you don't have the whole like torturing because you were bad.
Well, they're drunk, so
That's true.
yeah.
All right, so you spend the evening, you take like 10 crystal or something for consuming whatever variety of alcohol that is consumed over the course of the evening. And we can zoom out a little bit to just get a sort of big picture idea how long you stay in one place. Like, do you wait around for Aria Valora to come back through? Are you going to try and do an expedition to go directly to the sodality of Vryn? Are you going to use the Whisper network to like hopefully see if you can bring the attention of the sodality on yourself so that they come to you? Like what's the and you can talk it over, you can debate it in character, out of character. But we'll just sort of try and come to a settle on what the next course of action for the group is.
I mean, personally, I would like to hang out and see if we can manage to catch this Arya
Yep.
person. Maybe we can go out on like little day trips or whatever, but like to catch this lady so we can learn the way of the blade and destroy our enemies. And also, if it is dangerous, then I feel like we need to up our skills. We gotta gain power levels.
Yeah, you gotta go out farming, level yourself up.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta go.
I believe they call it grinding.
Yeah, you gotta go grind it out.
Well, you can farm for materials and grind for
And you grind for levels.
yeah,
You
farm and
for
grind.
levels. All right. So you all become potato farmers and grinders. All right. Okay, so if that's the general plan, then let's let the Sooth deck tell us sort of how long this might take and the general disposition of events as we will move towards that. Oh, we've played the sports car. All right, so we've played the driver. Impetuous travel, forward motion, speed, always moving forward. Sometimes you just gotta get away. Indicates an upcoming trip. Moves faster than normal in a crucial moment. Okay, so I mean, I think that this is indicating that you don't wait very long before she comes through. Like literally the next day, she arrives with like a caravan. So some point the next day, like in the evening before the red sun sets, you see a caravan assemble, come in on this like road that you hadn't noticed on the other side of the chasm, and park itself essentially. It's an interesting mishmash of creatures and vehicles and wagons. There are large elephantine like creatures, but they have these like tumorous growths growing all over them, and they don't have large ears, and their trunks have this like snake like appearance, and they've got too many legs, and they're pulling these large carts, but there are also these large, heavily armored, what look like, trucks, essentially, that drive, themselves, although they're magical, but they're belching smoke out of smokestacks. And it's just this mismatch of stuff. And there's traders of various kinds, but there's a contingent of people who make their way into the Red Whisper Inn. And Varghast sort of comes over to your table quietly as this group of, fairly rough-looking mercenaries seats themselves in a corner. That will be Valora there in the corner. And he points to a woman who is whip thin. She is extremely thin and tall, very long-lived. Her hair, where her hair would be, is iridescent feathers. They're this rich navy blue, but they have that sheen to them like you get on oil or like raven feathers, but extremely pronounced. And the feathers do occasionally, like when cockatiel or something is interested in something, and like, little crests and stuff, it does that. So like the hair like moves. It's very expressive. And she has a mismatch of scars. You can see a quite prominent scar across one cheek. Her forearms are bare, and you can see like scarred wounds crisscrossing her forearms. And she has a whip blade like Henrietta does. And so it's like coiled. You can see it sort of coiled at her side. And she's in the corner. She clearly is in command of this group of people that's around her. They're hanging on her every word. And she's like tipped back on the back legs of her chair, booted feet just up, crisscrossed, one over the other on top of the table. Thanks so much, Other Doc. Another Invisible Sun podcast that just wrapped, coming to us with a raid of your viewers. We appreciate it very much. Thank you so much. And yeah, so she just has this group of mercenaries around.
Henry will smack Alice on the shoulder, like, Alice, she's here. What do we do?
Act cool.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna pull up my sword and be like, just hanging out.
And they have not noticed you. They are not paying any attention. They're just like laughing in the corner and drinking and like, relaxing and unwinding from the road.
Oh, Varghest, what does she like to drink?
Oh, that one depends on her mood, but tonight she's drinking death.
Oh, okay. That's not intimidating at all. Okay, Alice, what do you think? We send her a drink from us. Would you do that?
Yes, I like it.
Varghest, for us?
Of course.
Is that a good move? I honestly have never done this before.
It's a little pricey. It's 10 crystal for glass of death.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll pay it.
All right. Excellent. Well, I will have it sent over your compliments. And he sort of bustles away and sort of goes over with this glass, with this dark... It's like swirls of pale and dark liquid sort of swirled together, and sort of has some sort of suspended, almost like cloudy substance in it that he plops down sort of as her glass finishes, and plops another one, and you can see him gesturing over. I believe Emma Elizabeth has drank this before as well. It's literally one of its ingredients is a corpse.
Sure, yeah.
Before they actually get a chance to look over, Alice is going to realize, let's not use the sword. Let's pull out the legacy dagger again.
Okay. So she takes the drink and she does the, raise, nods at you over it, downs it in several just swallows and like plops it down. Meanwhile, she was still always like leaning back in her chair, right? Feet up on the table. She swings them to the side and stands up and sort of saunters her way over pretty gracefully, very poised to stand at the table. Well, thank you very much. Tell me, what did I do to attract such honors?
Well, to be frank, the wind whispered about you to us.
The wind, always carrying my name to ears that should hear it.
My companion, Alice, and I are quite interested in learning more advanced sword techniques, and we've heard, as we've stayed here, that you're one of the best.
one of. I like to think that I am the best.
No offense was meant with that at all. Madam, Mistress, Valora. Your reputation certainly precedes you.
Indeed, indeed, I do what I can. So, tell me, what can I do for you?
Are you willing to take students?
I have been known to take students here and there, yes.
Would you be willing to take us as students? And she gestures maybe a little too wildly back and forth between herself and Alice.
She's looking sort of back and forth between the two of you, and her eye sort of settles on the dagger or quirks an eyebrow. You openly wield a weapon of the legacy in the red. That is either incredibly brave or incredibly stupid.
Yeah, we're pretty incredible.
It will remain to be seen, yes, on which this is. Stupidity, bravery, perhaps both.
Personally, I would lean towards the both category. I think it changes moment to moment.
So tell me, you want to learn more of the way of the blade. Why?
Well, we seemingly continue to find ourselves in situations in which that is the only solution. So,
Indeed, sometimes it is the only solution. Tell me, should it be the first solution?
no, I usually try to talk it out first, personally.
Good, good. Do not like to train people who merely want to be thugs and killers.
No, we met our fair share of those at DEF CON. I mean, they were lovely, but not someone I would want to meet in an alley.
No, I've been invited for panels several times. I have always refused.
Oh, have you heard?
Vultures
Oh,
and
God.
pretenders.
Dan, what was the name of that assassin guy? I forgot.
I'd have to look it up.
Okay, well, God, it was something great. Let's just pretend that we remember the name of the dude. Just like, oh,
Yeah.
do you know cool assassin guy with the soul dagger?
Ah, yes. A belligerent little piece of shit, if I remember.
Yeah, I beat him up. He was being a creep to some girls, and so me and Emma Elizabeth blinded him and beat him until he gave up.
Interesting. Well, perhaps you are worth my time after all. Why don't we have Henrietta make this will be a persuasion-based action as you're trying to convince her to take you on.
Okay. I will use a Bene from Interaction, probably.
Yes, the Bene would be from Interaction, and if you have any skills related to persuasion or positive social interactions, that sort of thing.
Nah. I got like calming people, but that's not really.
Okay.
Roll, and I will not roll poorly. I got a 5 + 1.
Okay. All right. So she looks sort of at the two of you and says, well, you're in luck that I've just come to the end of a contract, so I happen to be free to be taken on. The question is, how do you intend to pay me?
What is your preferred payment?
Thank you so much, Legends of Evantris. Oh my god, that is fantastic. Welcome all you new folks to our Invisible Sun game As the Suns Burn, a game of surreal fantasy where we are currently in the red, a realm of change and demons and destruction and violence, where we are in a pleasant inn having a discussion with someone with a really bad French accent, negotiating to teach some folks the way of the sword.
The way of the blade.
The way of the blade. Well, I am normally paid in, well, substantial sums of currency, but I've also been known to work for favors as well.
Well, Alice hates favors, but she also, I think we could come to an arrangement.
So, you've said that you want to learn so that you can better defend yourself because you find yourself in trouble. But you have come purposely to Zared, a place of violence and change and danger. So, you must have some particular need you are after. Perhaps if you tell me a little bit more about what you intend, where your training may take you next. Perhaps there are, of course, no coincidences in the actuality. Perhaps our paths are more aligned than one could think.
Alice, would you like to take this one? You told it so beautifully yesterday.
It began when we had the call to a mysterious dagger. Actually, it began earlier than that because there was a lot of crime involved. It began when my friends and I wanted to overthrow the Ash Gardens. Dun dun dun. And Alice is going to go and tell this wonderful story about how we did some things. We maybe made some mistakes along the way that we could have maybe changed up and figured out how to do it properly. But you know what? It's okay. And we eventually got into trouble with the law. And so as a result, we're here and we want to find the sodality of Rin, because if we do that, then we can be absolved of our crimes. Transgressions, rather, not crimes. Nope. And everything is fine. Everything will be fine. It's all good. And yeah.
But seeing as we found ourselves in the red in order to sort of take care of all of this wild and crazy stuff, it seems prudent to perhaps be better equipped to deal with our surroundings.
Yes, yes, indeed. Well, the totality of Vryn are noted for being somewhat dangerous. And as I said, it seems like our purposes may be perhaps a little bit more aligned than one would have suspected. I myself, no friend of the authorities in Saturnine, which is why I do not go there. I believe that the city is absolutely corrupt. Something dark lurks beneath the shiny facade. So, I am willing to help you there, but more importantly, the sodality of Vryn, well, one of their towers is known as the Tower of the Unlearned, and it is there where it is said that secrets and knowledge sometimes go and become something else. Secrets enter as one thing, they leave as another. I wish to enter this tower.
Yeah, we can get you in.
Yeah.
So, if you promise to get me in, then I will spend the time training you. And of course, it is worth my while because the better trained you are, the more likely you are to succeed in getting me in the first place. No?
Yeah, that tracks. Absolutely.
Hmm.
So,
Well,
I
then
think
we are in accord.
indeed. Shall we shake on it? Drink on it?
Haha, perhaps both. Shaking to seal the deal, but drinking to make sure that, well, any forgetting we will remember. No?
We?
All right. And so yeah, she shakes,
Yeah.
and she actually probably does the thing where she gestures and like relocates you to the table next to her table, and then like pushes them together, so that you end up drinking with all of these hard-bitten mercenaries and cutthroats and caravan
Yes.
guards that work in the red.
This is all
This
I've
is
ever
totally
wanted.
not Emma Elizabeth's scene.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah, I wonder particularly how Emma Elizabeth feels about this happening, and if she joins or perhaps does something else. There is, of course, a mix of people in the inn.
Was I actually there for this whole interaction? Because I wasn't aware that I was.
Yeah. No, I was assuming this
Okay.
was this is a time
Okay.
when you're all there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Emma, Lucky,
Just
do you
one more.
drink with the mercenaries? What do you do to Pat?
Okay.
That's
Sure.
totally Lucky's bag.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I'm just going along with whatever Henrietta and Alice need to do while we're here and
Right.
trying to forget that I'm hosting a demon.
That's true. You do, you do occasionally feel it squirming inside you. It's home at the moment in the red. But you also know that like Urgeborn can take like a decade to mature. So like you've got time to deal with the whole demon growing inside you. Don't leave it too long though, because it'll just like rip its way out of you. But you know.
That's why you gotta vomit it out, like Henry does.
All right. I think we should play a sooth card to see how this night of drinking goes.
Oh, I'm sure it's gonna be really great.
Well, we got a cat, so. All right. The tyrannical clock. The invisible, so all magic is enhanced at the moment. Notions, cats, clocks, and wind. So if any of those pertain to you, your ventures are at -1. Oppression, time, countdown schedule, and repetition. We live and die by time. Something good or ill approaches, and everyone knows it. All right. So yeah, so over the course of the evening, little things seem to repeat. There's like a couple of the mercenaries that tell the same joke just like too many times. The same stories get busted out over the course of the evening. And there is this, just sense of oppression that seems to be building in the atmosphere and in the air through the course of the evening. Like people start getting on each other's nerves. People snap at telling their buddy that they told that story 5 times already tonight, and if they don't shut their face, they're going to shut it for them. What are you all doing?
Do I experience this as I'm not part of Best
Oh
way.
yeah, I think it becomes like the atmosphere through the whole
Okay.
common area of the inn starts getting this way.
Hmm.
I'm gonna do another shot.
Okay.
Ooh.
Of
Time.
what?
Round.
Round. Oh, dibs in.
All right. Okay, so you feed it with more alcohol. There's a momentary collection of joy because people like being fed more alcohol. Um, yeah, the question is, what kind of drinks do you order for everybody?
I'm gonna ask the bartender for a special request. I'm
Okay.
gonna come in and say, uh, the group is getting a little bit moody tonight. I don't know if you've noticed, but do you have something along the lines of um, the embodiment of one's love and respect for their comrades? You know, something real sappy.
Uh, I don't know if we got it in a place like this.
Hmm.
If we did, it'd be a might expensive proposition.
Can't afford that, so don't worry about it then. Do you just have
I
something?
I maybe have well, got something called the sweet slumber of forgetting.
Hmm. I
What
forgot something. Oh, go ahead.
what does it taste like?
Well, and he pulls out this bottle that has this like thick greenish yellow liquid in it, and when he pours it out, it's thick and viscous. It sort of just slowly drains into a glass and sort of drizzles in and slides it across. Well, you tell me.
Sure. Bloop.
So you drink it, and in the moment of drinking it, it is terrible,
Oh.
horrid. It's the worst thing you've ever drunk. But by the time you finish and put back the shot glass, you don't remember drinking it or what it tasted like.
Well, it sorry, what? Did we just
Exactly. You did.
Are you
Did I
sure?
drink?
Absolutely.
Here, I'll pay for it.
And so he sends a round around, and I am going to have someone make a interaction based roll. We're just going to see how effective this might be at calming things down, because literally you think that someone is on the verge of getting murdered in the next couple of minutes.
Great.
So who wants to take the lead making this roll?
Alex, doesn't Emma have like a boatload of interaction and the ability to spend extra?
So she does, but she is not participating in this event. She does not want to hang out with the mercenaries. She has moved herself.
She's such a party pooper.
I mean, she'd be more of a party pooper if she was present, so.
Fair.
I'll do it.
Is Lucky going to gaslight the mercenaries?
Oh god.
Yes.
Gaslight them into having fun.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so as you serve up the drinks, pass them out, trying to diffuse the situation a little bit. I imagine like Lucky's been in similar situations before. Crowds he runs with. Yeah.
That's probably true.
All right. So what approach are you
I knew
taking?
you were going to ask me this. Oh my god. What approach am I going to take?
I mean, are you gaslighting them?
No, because I don't know how I would do that. That doesn't really
It might
suit here,
it, it
unfortunately.
might
Um,
feed back a little weird. I mean, you have
yeah,
persuasion.
I have persuasion. Um, I could just ask. No. I wish I had something in like lying. That would be great.
I do have calming people
we
as a
could-
level 2 skill.
Oh, Henrietta does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
That
you could help. You
that
could
probably
help
sounds.
Lucky.
Yeah, you can help me.
Yeah, I
You
will
can
help you.
help me out, and let's see. You and I will start relating a very funny story that's completely made up, but we're so close that we're able to like riff off each other and make it seem
Yes.
really like real.
Yeah. And just draw all the attention
Yes, and
to
just
us.
try to make everybody kind of like relax a little bit and laugh.
Yeah, perfect.
So that's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you'll start with a venture of 2 from the combo of persuasion and the helping from Henrietta, and I'm going to shift it another 2 points in your favor because of the drink, because this is basically going to be a shift, so that's a venture of 4.
Okay.
And is Lucky gonna like sort of turbocharge it with some magical juice?
Yeah.
Okay. So
So I need to spend a point from interaction.
sortilege.
Okay, sortilege. Yeah.
To get the
okay,
extra
that's fine,
dice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can also spend a bene from interaction. If you
Okay,
wish
I
as well.
will. I will.
Okay, so
So
it'll be
that-
a venture of 5.
Avenger of what?
Of 5.
5. Okay.
Yeah, and then if you spend the sortilege, you're rolling 2 dice as you pump some magical power into it.
Okay, so that's 8. So that's what? 13.
Oh, just the dice number's good enough. I can do the math of the venture.
8 and 5.
8 and 5. Okay. So you two start telling the story. You're handing out the shots. You're leaving like a little bit of magical energy to soothe, and I imagine as Lucky to like essentially tweak their minds subtly with your powers as you do it. And as they drink these shots, they sort of all calm down. And so as that near crisis is averted, that's where we're gonna wrap up for the evening. And what we're going to do is we're going to quickly go around and we're going to touch base just with people reminding, promoting anything you need to promote, and your favorite moment. And then we're going to try something new. For everyone who is a subscriber, we're going to take a brief break and we're going to come back and we're going to chat a little bit in a subscriber only stream. So we're going to turn on the subscriber only thing. We've never done this before. We'll see how it works. And we're gonna do a little like table talk, and we got to workshop a name because the C team has table talk, and so we're not gonna steal that. But we need a little name for our post show, and we'll talk on people's character arcs and acumen and all that stuff, and just chit chat. And if you're hanging out as a sub, you can hang out and ask some questions, and we'll hang out for 15-20 minutes or whatever, and do that. All right, so let's go around and get everyone's favorite moment, and let's start, Alex, with you.
I think my favorite moment was Alice standing on the table telling her story. I think like I just didn't expect Alice to go that hard. I'm just really glad she did.
The chains are off for all things
Alice
Alice.
Unfettered. All right, excellent. Annie. And yes, you can also remind people, promote anything, that sort of thing too.
Yeah.
Yes, Annie, take it away.
Okay, great. Well, I was like, Alex, he's Alex. You can find him places. Yep, did it. Got your back. Vanny, I'm at Alphabet Seeds on Twitter. You can find me here on Saturdays usually. Hi. Favorite moment? Yeah, it's kind of a big toss up between Canada Goose and Alice being a complete badass. That was great. I love it whenever Alice just like goes off the rails and just does her thing. It's amazing. I think we can all agree on that. That's my favorite moment.
I agree. All right, Corey.
Hello, my name is Corey Hickson. I'm on Twitter at the same handle. I've got something coming up in September, which I'm super excited to share. There's a game that we're going to start called Fight for What You Believe. It's a Burning Wheel game. It's got a handful of us on Variant Rules. Geez, I should have practiced this. My favorite thing from tonight was just getting to be back together because I missed everyone, and I'm so happy, and my heart is so full. And yeah, I am just so glad to be back together. It was lovely. Everything was my favorite. Everything. That's me.
Excellent. Sam.
All right. Well, now that Corey said his favorite thing was everybody being back together, I can't follow that up with my favorite thing was Emma Elizabeth staring down a giant Canadian goose, because it won't sound as nice. So I'm also very happy to be back together with all of you because I missed this game. And I do really enjoy playing with you guys. But my favorite thing was Emma Elizabeth staring down a giant Canadian goose.
It was pretty cool.
And winning the fight. I am on Twitter as 65th Victor. I draw pictures and sometimes I post them there, and I have a Patreon page as well, as does Variant Rules. So please look up both of them.
Absolutely. Thanks for that. So yes, a lot of new viewers tonight, please. You can support us by following the channel if that's a thing you do. You can subscribe if you want to support our wonderful content. We're a stream incubator, so our revenue either goes to the channel and like just paying for art and assets and tech and things like that to reimburse the channel, or for incubated games, it can, if shows make revenue, it goes to the cast to divvy up amongst themselves or do what they want with it. So it's not like all the money just funnels back into somebody's pocket. So you can support us by subscribing if that's something you do, or similarly our Patreon, or donating or anything like that, or just follow us on Twitter at Variant Roles, retweet our stuff, come hang out on Saturday nights. And as you can see, as Moobot has been posting in chat, we got a packed schedule. So tomorrow there's several games all through the day. Alex, you get a big event on Monday with the finale of your Ravnica game. So people should come hang out and watch what we do. And as far as my personal announcements go, I think my big one is along with this game, which it is great to be back because 6 weeks is way too friggin' long. In September, end of September, I will be also launching Project VHS, which is my horror science fiction show that's going to run through the fall. And I picked the cast yesterday, and so expect that announcement to come shortly. So yes, we're going to take a brief break. We're going to wind the stream down, and I'm going to try and not screw it up and see if I can bring us back for a little subscriber-only hangout. So I'm going to put us on break, and we'll hopefully see some of you back here in like 5-10 minutes. All right, thanks folks. Be seeing you. Good night.